My name is Gerald M, and I'm here to give a story about my dad, one Elijah M. My dad is about 80 years now, and he's suffering from Alzheimer's. I'm sure by now you probably know what the condition is about. It's a condition that actually affects the brain. Without sounding very technical, but it's about some protein they're called plaques that entangle the neurons and affect your brain and your memory, among other things. So I remember my dad as a very energetic gentleman, a businessman par excellence. He's actually one of the pioneers of the business community in a town called Nakuru, just about 160 kilometers from here. I remember my dad as, he's a hotelier. He was very passionate about the hospitality industry. He set up a couple of businesses around restaurants. He was very hardworking. He used to put in a lot of hours. I used to say he used to work 26 hours a day because he was literally there around the clock. I remember when I was small, I would, every time we had a holiday, I'd go and work at the hotel. So I started also honing my skills in hospitality industry while I was still very young. Way back, actually, when I was in primary school, around lunch hour, because I was in a day school, I would go and visit my dad at the business. He would actually lock up the room, his office. I'd put in some music, and we'd dance for almost 30 minutes, just dancing to different kinds of music. Probably maybe that's why I became a very good dancer. I still love music up to this day. Over the years, obviously, I left home, went to college, so was not really interacting with my dad much. A couple of years ago, and specifically somewhere around 2013, we started noticing something. So our mom called and told us that my dad had actually strolled away and disappeared. So we were very worried. We started looking for him. Actually, by this time, they had moved from Nakuru, they were in Nairobi, and it was really sad for all of us because we didn't know exactly where he was, and we only found him after 3 days. So imagine the trauma, even for him. Having disappeared, he couldn't find his way back home. Funnily, I know, when he was eventually found, he was all bubbly, just the usual Mzee he is. Actually, he had, now just going back, we discovered that he had actually taken a matatu and went to town, took another matatu, and that's how he was found, almost 35 kilometers away from home. I remember when we had the Westgate bomb blast. Just about that time, my dad had developed a small wound, and it had become so bad that he had a condition we call cellulitis. So the feet was actually swollen, just filled with water. So he had to be admitted. But unfortunately, because of his aggression, which comes also with the condition, they actually had to chain him to the bed. And that's the time we actually started running all the tests. And that's when we got the bad news that what he was actually suffering from is Alzheimer's. The condition actually stole Dad away from us. And I mean, the only thing we're left with now is just memories. It's really sad when your loved one cannot even recognize your name. So, you know, life is about building nice memories. But now, imagine now Alzheimer's coming and just stealing away all those memories from you. So about 2 years ago, I heard about ADOC and a support group, so I decided to attend. And at ADOC, I actually found a home, a place where I could come and just share. Yes, I'm not a primary caregiver, I'm a secondary caregiver, but because it was just a quest to try and find out exactly what the condition was about, to find out a little bit more about the condition and what we can do to make sure that we also don't suffer from the same. Something I didn't notice is that, I didn't mention, sorry, is that my grandmother actually had the condition. Now just going through the whole history, I now get to understand that she was also suffering from the same. So we are all at risk. Alzheimer's doesn't choose. And that's why I've decided I'm going to also volunteer my time to ADOC to create awareness about the condition. And hopefully we can make a change and have more people get to know about the condition, and so that we can also reduce the stigma around the communities. My name is Gerald M, and I'm an Alzheimer's soldier.